So this first year, we are getting out a lot more into the community because that is the basis of our new school. Some of the changes that we started off with right away is part of the day is multi-age. So during project time, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders all work together on going out into the community and doing oral history projects where they're interviewing most of the senior citizens in town and then creating a history DVD for that person and their family. Or going out to Big Spring Creek at the beginning of the year with our multi-age groups. We went out and met with former landowner who used to live out there as a boy. We had a person from the DNR out there shocking trout. The kids were measuring them, and we had another person from the NRCS out there showing the kids how they do some conservation work. Those two things, the oral history projects and the Big Spring Creek project, to me, are just helping anchor the kids into the community more. And I guess that is the goal of our school, is to get the students out there learning from people in this community who are experts in lots of different things.
The way that we've set it up, they've actually become involved in an environmental project that tests the water, that checks for bacteria levels, that checks up on the progress of the fish growth, sees how a former farmstead has now been re-established as prairie. So it was a very nice experience for them to have out there.
When we go outside to Big Spring is our science project that we do, because at the time we were talking about ecosystems, and that really helped with our ecosystem, seeing what types of organisms combine. Like certain types of fish will eat certain types of bugs, and the bugs eat the plants, and normally in the regular science classroom we wouldn't be able to do any of that because it's really not there. The stream isn't there in the classroom. It's out there, and to be out there at the stream you have to get up and actually do some testing, and I think that's what we did a lot more than usual.
The students have made a real impact, I think, in the community with their oral history projects, and that has been a definite connection.
When we did the oral history project, we got together with our individual project groups, and then we went to the elderly people who would be around Highland in its younger days. My group, we did this one lady who was married to the mayor. She told us all sorts of things about it. It was really interesting, and she showed us the old Highlander yearbooks. It was so cool.
Here at Highland, we have a number of old buildings, and we are concentrating on the history of those buildings and the businesses that have been involved with them from the time that they were first built here in Highland.
Normally history is just reading out of that big red textbook and taking notes in a notebook, but now you're going out, and we're on Main Street, and our town has such a history, and I don't think we ever would have learned half the stuff. Like the railroad track went all the way out to California, and there's a giant mining company, and there's mines under this school, and there's huge histories behind the churches and the general stores here, and it's just pretty fun.
we've been able to make a real sense of community, breaking apart from just the traditional 6th grade group, 7th grade group, 8th grade group.
It's probably good for the younger kids and older kids, because for the older kids, they get to kind of have a sense that they're helping the younger kids learn. Then the younger kids are probably understanding it more coming from someone who's not a teacher, because then it's almost a little less superior student-teacher thing.
Last year we were doing garden with kids and little first graders, and we actually made square feet and tied them to their feet, and then we actually did like math and everything, like the hard stuff we ended up doing. But you see our garden now, it's huge.
One of the things that I was really pleased with, seeing the interaction between the students. They're working together, and you can see the joy and happiness in their faces as we took their pictures, because they are just completely candid shots most of the time. They were genuinely interested and engaged in what they were doing and learning. I think that learning in this way is really helping with more of what they call the 21st century skills of communication and collaboration. And sometimes in a project, you're going to be using English and language arts and science and math. It just seems so much more natural to integrate those standards in the project.
It's like a really cool experience to be able to go through. With this, we've been able to go to museums and do more outside learning, and it's just a good experience, and you're going to make a lot of memories doing it.